Sorry, but you have been lied to. Now, it's not me. I didn't lie to you, but we got Trump's new tariffs that could crush your wallet, right? They're coming out April 2nd. We're going to go into that. We got FHA that has just locked out thousands of buyers, right? Which that directly affects you if you're a FHA user, possibly, and even if not, too. And we'll definitely dive deeper into that. And now Goldman Sachs is saying that recession is almost guaranteed, right? So we got Trump's new tariffs. We have FHA new guidelines that affects people trying to get first-time homebuyer loans. FHA loans, 3.5% down, not a bad idea. And we got Goldman Sachs, right, increasing the probability of recession. What does that mean? What does that really mean? Especially when last year and the year before, a lot of people were waving off recession, but the data doesn't lie. The data doesn't lie. So let's go ahead and dive deep into this. But like I said before, welcome to the Military Wealth Club. If this is your first time, hi, I'm Mercedes, the Military Realtor. And as a service member homeowner that has served in your boots before, I help you use your VA loan, as simple as it is, right? We have VA loan benefits that are specific to us, active duty, reserves, National Guard, it doesn't matter, surviving spouses as well, but there's a lot of benefits for us to use that we don't know about, especially the VA home loan benefit and others, of course. There's a lot of others that are just as important, if not more important, like the GI Bill. GI Bill's great. A lot of education, vocational schools, stuff like that, right? So let's keep going. This is the Military Wealth Club. Don't forget it. We host this every single week. We bring you updates on what's going on in the market, from real estate, business, stocks, finance, all of it, geopolitics, right? All of it. As a veteran myself, I have experience in the defense world, right? In aviation, in special operations. So that gives me a little bit of insight on the geopolitics. And a lot of people just don't correlate. Geopolitics completely correlates to our banking, completely correlates to companies, stocks, business, right? So this all connects in this big web. And that's why we have this show, the Military Wealth Club, right? Like I said, real estate, business, stocks, and finance. I can't put this pinky down. Finance every single week, because there's tons of information that gets put out every single day. And you really don't have time to look over all this stuff, right? All the stuff that could affect your investments, your real estate, your stocks, your gold, your Bitcoin, whatever is in your 4K, right? So that's why I'm here. Mercedes the Military Realtor. I help you stay up to date with what's going on. So let's get started on the first one, right? Trump's tariffs. Okay, look, April 1st, they're not going to come out April 1st. Apparently he believes it's April Fool's Day. He doesn't want people thinking it's a joke. So April 2nd, Liberation Day, which is a weird thing. I don't know. Have y'all Americans, fellow Americans, have we felt chained by other companies, and other countries, that these tariffs are really going to free us? I wouldn't say so, not at all. I mean, it was our choice as well to allow manufacturing to go overseas, right? Do we remember that? Where there's a time where Americans, we're coming up on the ladder, we're number one, great. Now we're not doing all these manufacturing jobs no more. Nah, don't need them. We're going to send them overseas, and they're going to do it for pennies on the dollar, and that company's going to save a lot of money, right? Well, Americans didn't have an issue with it till 07, 08 came around, and then we're like, recession, things are tough, they done took our jobs. Y'all remember that South Park episode, right? Oh, but we didn't want those jobs. So now we've got tariffs, 25% on all these countries going on the 2nd of April. Now, what do we really think, right? Is this potentially going to disrupt global economics? Is it going to bring more inflation? Right? Well, it is. Tariffs are inflationary. Tariffs do not get paid by those countries. Those countries pass it on to us, the consumers. Right now, as we spoke about before, well, if you have Company A and Company B, Company A is a foreign company, Company B is American, Company A gets a tariff on it for 25%. So now they raise their prices. So now it's 125. Let's just say it's 125 for the foreign company, company A, and it's still a dollar for this company over here, company B, the American brand. Now, if this minimum is at 125 and this is still at a dollar, sure, we can be incentivized to buy American products. Great. At that price point, great. But do we think that they're going to miss out on a possible profit here? If the difference is 25 cents, why wouldn't company A just go up by 12 and a half cents? You still get a savings. We're still cheaper than the foreign company. But in the grand scheme, everything just went up by 12 and a half cents, by 12 and a half points, 12.5%. So we still had an increase here. You're buying American, but now you're paying more than even before. Right. Now, if these American companies don't increase their prices, which they are, as we saw in COVID, right? We're feeling a lot of pain in our wallets with food going to the supermarket. And those prices haven't come back down from COVID. And some of those stores, those grocery stores, I saw a report where there was a grocery store where the owner was not stocking companies that weren't adjusting their prices after COVID, right? We get it, there's a supply shock during COVID, but it never retraced back. It never came back down. The prices they just came up and they never came back down. And that's an issue for American people. We just had the whole thing with eggs. Eggs, we're talking eggs. COVID, it was toilet paper. Right? So these are just real issues, right? Real things that we face. Now, some Americans, they may have the funds to really not feel it. And they may be in the circles as well where they don't even hear it, right? And that speaks a lot though, because sometimes I speak to those people and they have no idea what's really going out in the world, right? Just not in your immediate bubble where everyone's making six figures, everyone's white collar, everyone's this, everyone's that. There's a lot of people out there that are suffering and they can't afford those eggs. And those eggs are what they eat the most. Right? A lot of people don't realize sometimes when we're in poverty, we eat the most common foods the most. You might have breakfast twice a day and throw in a bowl of cereal, and those are your meals right there. A lot of eggs, maybe some white rice, maybe some french fries, some potato rice, some cheap stuff. But the prices go up at the grocery store. So that bag of potatoes, that bag of rice, that bag of this, and your wages aren't matching either. That's the biggest issue that I've seen in history is why haven't wages, why haven't these corporations, why haven't these American corporations that love you so much and love our tax cuts that they get here, why aren't they paying us a standard wage of living to work for them for 10, 15, 20 years? Give them 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, and you can't even have a living wage, right? And we're having less and less companies that have pensions, that have benefits, right? Full benefits, full 20-year pensions, right? For family as well, healthcare, dental, stuff like it's less and less and less. As we've seen, America has entered a gig economy over the last few years, especially with this generation where it's okay, I want to maybe work this seasonally, work this for 4 months, 6 months, maybe move here, move over here. But then we also have a lot of firings. You have a lot of businesses now that they're just letting people go left and right. And none of this is ever doom and gloom, right? I want y'all to know, right? Unemployment, recession, all these other things. Look, none of this is doom and gloom. It is reality. And we have to know these things and have some foresight to at least recognize some of the things that don't repeat, but they do rhyme in history. Okay? Now, a down market, recession, whatever it is, to me, it's not negative in a way, right? We plan for it. We can make profits from it. We can help people come out from these sticky situations like foreclosures, right? Like being behind, stuff like that. And then we can come out of that into the next cycle successful. But we can't just kind of put our heads in the dirt. That's what I've been seeing. I spoke to someone today, and I said, how are we going to make money in this bear market? A bear market, if some of y'all don't know, a bear market is the stock market is negative, right? Is not doing so well. All right, we're losing a lot of points. We're losing a lot of market cap, right? Versus a bull market, a bull, we're going up because we're bullish. Bulls got horns, we like it. A bear, I think of a bear as in hibernation, right? It's the downward market, and that's okay. So I was asking someone like, how are we gonna make money in this bear market? Which there are ways. There's money. There's ways to make money in every single market. Okay, but automatically their response was, well, I'm pretty bullish. Bro, I've been hearing this for years about being bullish. I heard it from crypto guys. Bro, there was a time to be bullish. The time's not now. Look at the data. Look at the numbers, right? And like I said, this isn't negative, but it's like saying, it's like being on a train. Okay, right? I think this may be the best analogy for this. The train stops at the station. You get on the train, right? You get on the train. Let's say it's 2010. You get on this train. The train starts moving. You feel it pick up. You feel the acceleration, and it starts going. And maybe it's the Shinkansen in Japan, right? The bullet train. Maybe it's a little bit faster, right? And it's getting to top speed, and it finally gets there, and then it's zooming at top speed, and then eventually you feel it winding down, and then it comes back, right? Comes back to the station or to whatever station, has to slow down, has to come to a stop, and then has to redo that all over again. That is the stock market. Except I guess maybe we put a blindfold on you, right? So you don't know when you're going to get to the station though. But there are these feelings, right? You can feel the inertia. You can feel it change the rate of speed of acceleration, and you can feel it start to deaccelerate if you're paying attention to the clues, right? That's the big thing right there. That's the big thing. It has to happen. We have to have downturns to then go into an upward cycle. We have to have consolidation of money. We have to have accumulation phases, right? We have to have these things. Now, the speed that these things happen in could be longer or shorter, but they have to happen. Just in any sine wave and anything that's cyclical, we have to go through these phases in order to get to the next one. So if we have a downturn, which we're seeing consumer debt go up, we're seeing foreclosures, right? People that are being behind. They're being helped, but they're still behind. Commercial debt, right? Other countries, Germany, Japan, China, going through economic crises at this time. We went through consecutive months, right, of no growth. So what do? Right? Now we have tariffs going down on the 2nd. And a lot of people, I think there was a survey, 29 out of 30 of these economists were saying, hey, Trump's idea of tariffs is the worst. It's just not it. This isn't the time for your tariffs play. Well, he wants to play hardball, right? A lot of people think he's a businessman, right? He wrote a book about negotiating, the art of the deal, and all these things, right? Look, 1,000%. But this is a different ball game, right? You're playing with whole entire country economies. He's used to playing real estate developer, okay, to a certain extent, maybe a little bit outside of that shell. But we step out into the whole entire American economy, dwarfs him, no experience in it, right? And then the world. Now, and then we're playing against the world. Even with our neighbors, how does it make sense that we're playing so hard with Canada, with Mexico, when they've been great allies to us? And if we ever have anything that happens in the U.S. with foreign forces, wouldn't we want Canada and Mexico to help because we're allies? Do you put a 25% tax on your allies, on your boys, on your neighbors, the people that literally live next door to you? Right? I get everyone else. So everyone else that's out of town, you from another borough, you from another hood, another ward, right? That makes sense. I'm a tax, right? Is there tax on this? Yeah, man, on this 8th, whatever it is, you put in tax on someone, but that's someone that's out of town. I get that. I mean, not even saying I get that. In this case, it is not a great economic solution for what we're trying to do, which is drive inflation down and ideally employment down as well. But Canada and Mexico, all right, just wait until your maple syrup and your tacos go up, bro. I'm just saying, look, it's not cool. Canada and Mexico would not do that to us. But anyways, those are Trump's tariffs. So you will, but look, we're going to use the terminology may here. You may see increases in the price of your foreign goods coming from Canada. Mexico, anywhere, coming from anywhere, we have tariffs on. And not to mention, they're planning on doing reciprocal tariffs on us as well. So, something to consider. Buy American if you can, but also note how American made products may go up in price because they can, because the foreign goods are going up in price. So, why not them still go up in price as well, but you're still under? So, it's just something to note. I really hope prices go down. Corporations will not retrace, they're not going to lower their prices. Once it's up, they are very, very, very reluctant for it to come down because it had to go up for a reason, and they're looking for every reason to keep it up, right? Talking in terms of COVID, prices went up for everything. They would love to keep it at that price. Oh, now a roll of toilet paper is one roll of toilet paper is $2 now. It used to be $1.50. Do you think they're gonna roll it back because COVID went away? Because their costs, their margins went back to normal? No, you're already used to paying that price for toilet paper or milk or eggs or whatever for that long. They're just gonna leave it, right? The eggs thing, the whole egg scenario with the chickens getting the flu or something, look, yeah, well, that's a shortage. That's a shortage with price increase, right? Shortage, supply and demand, prices go up because there's lower demand, or excuse me, there's lower supply but high demand, right? Once the supply comes back up, demand reaches a normal state, not an equilibrium state, but a normal state, and then the prices should come down of eggs, right? Cool. That's not the COVID case though. It was a supply and demand issue. The supply and demand got solved, logistics got solved, but the prices never went back. So just keep your eyes open. Right? Income, expenses, you got to penny pinch, you got to shop somewhere else, you got to figure out what you don't need, what you do need, whatever it is, penny pinch so you can make sure you're still saving as much as you want to save and you're still investing as much as you want to save, okay? But on the second, keep your eyes open for these tariffs and keep your eyes open for any prices going up. All right, man. And we had the Federal Reserve meeting last week. The next meeting is May 7th, and right now the probability of a rate cut during the May 7th meeting is 14%, with 86% of no rate cut. But we'll see because we went from 4 rate cuts being anticipated in 2025 to 2, and Goldman Sachs is thinking we may get 3, but we'll see because it's always a month by month basis. The Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, he's very data oriented, but I don't trust the data that they're putting out. So there's that. But anyways, I hope you guys are investing, right? I hope you guys are investing, whether you're watching this or you got information somewhere else, but I hope you're investing not just in real estate, but also in your stocks, in your gold, other stuff. I don't know what else you got. I mean, crypto, right? I put crypto in finance as well. But I hope you guys are still investing, even if we are in a bear market, even if stocks are going down, right? You dollar cost average into stocks that you really love. And you have to really think about, why are stocks going down? What is driving this downwards? Is it one company or is it a lot? Well, if it's the whole industry, if it's the whole market, that says something versus one company. One company's report came out about a CEO and blah, 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 and great, their stock value drops because their CEO that they love so much got blah, 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 this and that, right? Who knows? That makes sense. But if the whole market is in a bear market because of global economy, and this is happening to all these companies, you have to see it's a tide. It's not necessarily that this ship is sinking, it's more that the tide is going up and down, right? So don't confuse the two, because the ship sinking is different from the tide sinking. Those are two different things, because the tide's always going to come back, but this ship that got sunk for whatever reason is not coming back. So you have to consider that. Do not be scared in this market. Still throw your money into this market smartly. I'm not your financial advisor, but put your money into this market. Where else are you going to put it? Gold, I love gold. Gold has been going crazy, right? Why is gold going crazy? Well, we have tensions in the Middle East. Tensions in the Middle East, gold is always going to go up. We have tensions with banking and finance, gold is going to go up. Something to note, right? So put your money somewhere. It's got to go somewhere. The dollar, who knows what's going on with the dollar, but I'd rather put it into real estate, precious metals, including gold, or Bitcoin. That's my personal. That's what I would do. That's what I do. But don't forget, I'm not your financial advisor. So let's keep it going here. Man, we have bricks. This relates exactly to bricks. I've been talking about bricks for so long. Look, I'm not talking about white bricks, yellow bricks, red bricks. Okay, please. None of those bricks. We're talking about the coalition, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and now also Saudi Arabia. We got Vietnam that wants to be in there. We got I'm not even gonna name these other ones because I don't want to butcher them. I don't want to forget. But BRICS is a big thing. We see BRICS lining up against NATO, kind of lining up against the G20, the G7 countries, and a lot of BRICS actually came from G20. So it's kind of like the G7, not including Mexico. But it's like America, France, all that, the allies type thing versus BRICS. But it's about money. It's about money. People don't know this, that all wars start from banking, and that BRICS and G7, this whole thing is all about money, right? Look up the SWIFT money system that we have been de-dollarizing, right? That BRICS wants to completely de-dollar. They don't want to do any deals in the dollar. They've been doing it in rubles. They've been doing it in Chinese. They've been doing it in crypto. They do it in everything else except the dollar. They do not want to ride on the dollar anymore. And that's what's driving a lot of tensions. People think, people think we're in the Middle East fighting certain people, or in Ukraine, or we're fighting the Russians, man. We're fighting. When I was in Iraq 2018, it wasn't the local people that shot our stuff down. There were Russians. Anyways, I don't know. I just work here. But look, BRICS, something to look into. Something to look into. If they're planning on de-dollarizing, right, almost half the world doesn't want to use the dollar anymore, which is why America came to power over the last, 60, we're going 80 years after Bretton Woods Agreement, right? You can Google the Bretton Woods Agreement. Go look at that. What was that, 1940 something, 1944? When everyone agreed to use the dollar as the reserve currency, and the dollar was being backed by gold, right? 44. And then we get to 1971, Richard Nixon takes us off the gold standard, and you can see inflation and the amount of printing just go wild. Now the dollar isn't tacked anymore to gold. If you can't tell, I'm a little history buff. I'm a little, I wish I was there. I wish I was there in this same clothes too. I'd look just like this. I'd be just like this. Probably pull off Thomas Jefferson's wig or something. Anyways, hit him in the face with some powder, pull a stocking, just be a menace. But it's I would love to be there to see all these things in history when we were putting these things into play. But the closest I can do is just study history and bring this information to you. So if you got some time, look up some information on BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and they've also added UAE and Saudi Arabia. That's a big deal, right? That's a big deal. If I just said UAE, Saudi Arabia, China, and Russia, that's a big deal. That's why America's up in Ukraine. That's all I'll say. All right, let's keep moving. What reports we got here today? Man, we got Nvidia going crazy. They just had their conference a couple weeks ago. If you don't know who Jensen Huang is, right? CEO of Nvidia, wears a black jacket. You should know who he is. He's driving the hardware space with Nvidia and this AI infrastructure that's going on, right? So Jensen Huang, do some research on him if you're into this stuff. This is more the stock space, right? But this is the tech space. Tech affects everything, right? If you're a realtor or a lender, you know that tech has been making its way into our industries as well. And what does that mean, right, for us in our professions? And for all professions, right? All white collar workers, blue collar, and no collar. It doesn't matter. But how will AI affect your profession and your life. To me, I see it as an improvement. It can be. It can increase your productivity. It can take some menial tasks off your desk, and it can make quality of life better if we know how to use it, though. It's a tool in your toolbox. It doesn't necessarily need to replace you. Now, it will replace a lot of humans, and there's a lot of stuff that should be replaced, sure. But more opportunities will come of it. And we have to get on that ball, and we have to realize, pause, and we have to realize that a lot earlier before it's too late, right? Because if we're not doing training programs, if we're not trying to get into another industry or shift, right, and you get outphased, it's going to be a bad time. We've seen unemployment rising, right? We've seen unemployment rising. Programs are being cut. So it may get difficult. So use AI, learn how to use it as a tool, as a screwdriver, as a flathead, as whatever, right? As a drill, as a saw. You learn to use your tools to your advantage. Okay. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving here. We've seen gold. We've seen gold reaching all-time highs amid market uncertainty. And that's why gold is a safe haven. It's a store of value for a lot of people throughout history. The only currency to last so long and to be traded as a currency. It's hitting what? 3,100 per ounce? Climbing to 32, 33. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And gold is a precious metal. It's also in a lot of our tech too. People don't realize that. Crazy extensively, but it's a precious metal. So not only with trading, not only with cultures, not only with wearing it, not only with technology, gold is important. So do not forget it. But we got tariffs and geopolitical tensions. Gold is doing well because of that. So get you some gold, because I definitely did too. And there's different ways to buy gold. You may have a Costco membership. You can buy gold through Costco if you wanted to. If you're buying physical gold, you need to safeguard it. If you're not safeguarding it, or you are, but you're telling everyone where it's being safeguarded, you know what I mean? So there's different ways to really get into gold. You could buy physical gold. There's, like I said, there's different types of physical gold. There's tons of different coins, pieces, you know, stuff like that. And you can go to derivatives of gold, right? You can buy stocks of a gold company. I'm not for that. When it comes to gold, I want to buy actual gold, or if I can buy paper stocks of gold that do a delivery on demand, well, they will deliver it, right? Great. But to just buy paper stuff and to I kind of, no, I'm not about that. I'm not. Own the mine. You can own the mine too. Some people, Robert Kiyosaki, he invests in owning gold mines. And actually, I think they discovered one of the biggest gold mines in China, and they confiscated his whole company. Anyways, that's a side note. But invest. Precious metals. Gold is not a bad idea. One of the things, though, in case you really forget, is to tap that like and subscribe button to support. Please, it's right there. Every week we make content bringing this up-to-date information, right, that can affect the investments that are in your wallet, whether that's real estate, stocks, finance, business, right? This information can help you out. So please hit that like and subscribe. I gotta know if you guys are liking the content, right? If it's useful, if it provides value or not. And also, what else would you want to know? Leave that in the comments. All questions, leave it. I read all of them, right? That's me in there. I read all of them, I see all of them, and I take all suggestions. So please. All right. What's next on the docket here? What's next? Ooh, I've been waiting for this one. So this was a breaking report. This was a big deal because FHA home loan changes and how it affects you. So with this new administration coming in, we have changes to the FHA home loan program. Now, what are the changes? A lot of people use this program. What are the changes? Right, to me, this is the best program to use if you want to buy a home, other than the VA loan. And you can use both too. You run out of your VA loan, great. Come to the FHA side of the house. Don't want to use your VA loan? Cool, great. Use your FHA loan. 3.5% down. You can possibly get a second home as well in the future. It's a great product. Now, how are these changes going to affect you when it comes to the FHA home loan? So, let's go over it. What changed in the FHA home loan? Well, HUD has eliminated the non-permanent resident category. Well, that may affect you directly or may not. If you are a permanent resident, this could still affect you, and we'll get into how exactly. Okay, now this includes both single family Title I's, this is home improvement and mobile home loans, and Title II, which is the basic FHA loan, 2 or 3K, which is the renovation loan. So people don't know you can buy a home and also get renovation costs added to the loan, so you can renovate the property, increase the property, or get it to a habitable standing for you. And this also affects DACA recipients, right? You may know a DACA recipient, or you may be one as well. Pending asylees, refugees, and individuals on work visas are now ineligible, right? DACA recipients, pending asylees, refugees, individuals on work visas are now ineligible for the FHA home loan, okay? Now, the HUD Secretary, Scott Turner, confirmed that this is a full rollback, right? Full rollback. Y'all remember Walmart? Rollback. Y'all, some of y'all may be too young for that, but the rollback price is rolling back of Biden era policies. They said, no, you got to go, okay? Where DACA recipients, they were qualifying with the social and work authorization. Now, some people get socials or ITIN numbers, right? ITIN numbers, it's the same thing. Well, it's similar. It's a similar thing. But with the ITIN number in our industry, someone could be a non-permanent resident. They have an ITIN number. We can still process them to get a government-backed loan. Now, it's changed. It's changed. So these new rules require permanent legal residency. And anything short of that, anything, is now disqualified, okay? Now, when does this take place? Okay, when? When do the new FHA guidelines and rules take place? Effective date, May 25th of this year. May 25th of this year. So, that gives people some time. If you're trying to get in and you're trying to buy, and you may know someone, or you yourself may be someone that doesn't have permanent legal residency status, this may be the time. This may be the time, right? And especially before the full summer market swing too. So May 25th, that means you should start getting started now, talking to someone like myself, right? So if you know someone that this may affect them and they may be in the market for buying a house, or they've talked about it, this is the time, all right? Now, any FHA case numbers assigned on or after May 20th will be subject to the new policy. So May 25th or after. Do it before, you're still good to go with the old policy. Now, lenders can implement the change immediately, but must comply starting May 25th. So if you have a lender that says, no, we already enacted it. One, that sucks. You guys don't want to do deals? Okay, fine. But just go shop around to another lender, right? Which I could put you in contact with a lender that isn't closing off, right? That isn't implementing right away and are waiting to May 25th. All right. Now, this was just announced a few days ago too. Like I said, who, right? Who is affected by the new FHA home loan changes? Okay. Now, non-permanent residents, even if they have a valid work visa, even if they have a social, even if they have employment authorization, and even if they live in the U.S. legally, but without permanent status. DACA recipients and individuals awaiting asylum or refugee approval. Now, who is still eligible for the FHA home loan? That's U.S. residents, lawful permanent residents, or citizens of certain places like Micronesia, Palau, or Marshall Islands. Now, the big question is why? Why would there be FHA home loan changes like this in now April of this year, of 2025? Well, this aligns directly with Trump's immigration-focused executive orders, and this is designed to preserve taxpayer-funded housing benefits for legal U.S. residents only. The aim is to reduce financial risks to the Mutual Mortgage Insurance Fund. Okay, all right. Now, HUD argues that non-permanent residents could be deported or lose legal status, increasing the risk of default. Okay, that is something to consider, right? That if no one's here to pay on the house, they get deported. We're running into legal issues, we're running into probate, we're running into foreclosure, all those things, right? So, now this is part of the broader effort to end taxpayer subsidization of undocumented and non-citizen housing. Okay, that's their whole aim. I'm here to report the news. That's it. That's it. So now, how's this really going to be enforced when we actually think about it? Like, how are they going to stop these folks from still getting properties? Well, lenders are now required to verify legal permanent residency status. May 25th or after, not right now, May 25th or after, okay? It could be reinforced, so don't let a lender, if a lender says that they're already implementing it, go work with another lender, okay? All right, Social Security cards are not sufficient proof of immigration or work eligibility, and mortgage files are going to need documentation of permanent resident status and evidence of qualifying status. Okay. Now, how are the FHA home loan changes going to affect the housing market? With a whole new category now where they chopped a ton of people from eligibility of VA home loans, how does that affect the market? Well, for borrowers, this limits access to FHA loans for that population. Hispanic communities, where FHA loans make up nearly 30% of mortgages of Hispanic borrowers, and first-time homebuyers, right, that are relying on the FHA's low credit and down payment requirements. Man, and we got someone here, Gary Acosta. He says that this is a setback. He's the CEO of NAHREP, NAHREP. He says this is a setback. Republicans have historically been the party of home ownership, and this feels contrary to that. Now, I think we're all still for home ownership. I think the angle here is obviously for permanent legal residence, even if you have a social, even if you're paying taxes, even if whatever. I'm just here to report the news, all right? Now, for lenders, this may impact loan volume, right? Especially in those Hispanic communities and urban markets where a lot of us need access to FHA loans. We don't have access to a VA loan or anything else, and FHA is the lifeline. Lenders they do have to verify immigration status documentation more rigorously now because it's on them, right? Man. Now, what else? What else is here? Now, I would say the bigger picture here, right? Now you may have less competition, right? When it comes to putting in offers, because you have less FHA borrowers that are eligible to use it. So there is that. There is that. Do I think it was the Wild West out there with offers right now and stuff? No, it's not 2020. It's not crazy out there. So I really, there's no pros or cons here. I'll say that. There's no pros or cons unless you're in this group that this is targeting. There's no pros and cons, right? It's just noise of FHA changes eligibility. If you're a legal resident, right, permanent resident, then you're still good to go. All right. But we also have to talk about how the USDA terminated access to rural loans for non-citizens. So not only is the FHA doing this, but now USDA, because these are similar loans, right? These are back loans. That's the thing. These are back loans. So USDA, which was also a great resource more in rural areas, right? You buy 10 acres, whatever it is, different from FHA. But now they're also terminating access for non-citizens. All right, well, we know it's the broader picture of immigration reform. We do know that, okay? So there's no question about it. But I have to ask, do you agree, right, that loans should be restricted to permanent residents only? and why so? Why or why not? I would love to hear what you have to say, and I'll comment back. I love having actual conversations with people to delve into the details of why or why not. Okay, and that's really it. Especially for the FHA portion, there's not much else for us to expound on. So don't let people blow your head up about this. This is gonna be so much better. You're gonna have so much more money. It's gonna be so much easier for you to get an FHA loan because all these illegals are out of here and blah blah blah. Look, do not believe that. Okay, it's gonna be the same thing. There's plenty of homes out there for us. I promise you. I promise you that. Anyways, have y'all seen what's been going on with Tesla? The Tesla commercial pretty much in front of the White House. You have Trump saying that if you attack a Tesla, you're who knows, you're Hitler. I don't know, Osama bin Laden. Who knows? And now it's an act of war against the U.S. Navy, against the U.S. military. If you fart on a Tesla, I guess. What do you think about that? I feel like the world is still pretty torn, specifically when it comes to the Republicans. Do you like EVs? Do you not like EVs? Do we like Elon? Do we not like his salute? What is going on? So if someone would please comment below. I thought the Cybertruck looked cool when it first came out. I was like, oh, this is like Halo or something, like cool, But EV, as we've seen with studies, going full EV, the amount of resources and minerals you need is not realistic for everyone. Going full EV would be realistic for the rich. That's who would be realistic for. For everyone else, it's not realistic to do a full EV battery. We can do a hybrid. The 50/50s are nice, which Toyota's been doing for years, but the 50/50s are a lot less resource intensive, and they still bring great, amazing ranges. So I think that's where we should make the divide with EVs. And full EVs are probably going to be a luxury only for the really wealthy, like I said, and will most likely be driving hybrids or something like that. So I don't know. Do y'all like Teslas? Right? As a company, as a stock, what do you think about it? Do you think it's a good investment? It has taken a hit recently, and there are some targets out there to load the boat with Tesla stock. But I would like to know, what do you think, especially with Elon running multiple other companies as well, right? Neuralink, Starlink, Link, I don't know, Doge Link, Sausage Links, all these things, right? Does he have the capacity to give them attention? Right there, I think a lot of them came up through some of his diligence and his ambition and his vision, but are they sustainable? Something to think about if you are holding Tesla stock, or if you are thinking about buying some Tesla stock. This one, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, so we need to talk about Greenland. Okay, Trump suggests military action to acquire Greenland and before the Panama Canal. Okay, look, first of all, one of those already got figured out. BlackRock, if you don't know who BlackRock is, they pretty much already acquired it. Okay, that's something to look into. That's a big deal. And also the history of the Panama Canal too. Why was it built in Panama, right? Did they try to build it in another country first, and that country wasn't allowing it? They weren't going to let them bully them, so then they moved to another country. Anyways, that's some history to look up. But Greenland, what do we? He said, "Yo, man, let's just get Greenland. It's not even that green, but let's just get it. Like, why not just get some territories under your belt?" Now, it's pretty preposterous. I'm like, and then Canada, the first state, right? They got what, 44 million people, something like that, 50 million. We don't even like each other here. You trying to add some Canadians? Look, we love Canadians. Look, I'm from South Florida. First of all, these Canadians drive so slow, bro. But they're on vacation. What do I expect? Also, they wear like a tube of sunscreen for every outing. But anyways, that's neither here nor there nor there. Anyways, but Greenland, people may think it's a preposterous random idea. It's more about strategy, and they're looking. I feel like there's future planning for more conflicts. That's what I really feel like, a lot like positioning. That's why I feel like we had a Big interest in Ukraine as well. I mean, we had to keep the military industrial complex pumping because we pulled out of the Middle East to a certain extent. But it's all positioning. So Greenland would be a great position, right, going into Europe. But if we have full control over it, and if we could do whatever we wanted there, we could put a base there, we could put missile sites, we could put this, we could put that. So that's just something to think about. When he's rambling on about Greenland and stuff, just think about it's a possibly strategic thing for us in the future. But we can't see that now because it's war tensions aren't there yet. But who knows? Who knows when that could escalate? I don't anticipate anything soon unless Taiwan goes down. That's something. That's something. But look, I'm sure you guys have already forgotten, but make sure you tap and like. Tap that subscribe button, and please like as well so I know that the content I'm making is of value to you, and I know to continue making this content, right? We talk about real estate, business, stocks, and finance every single week. So please hit that like and subscribe button. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep it moving here, man. We got a lot of stuff going on in the news. You know, we got tech giants facing antitrust scrutiny. That's been going on for a while. Apple, Google, Amazon, right? They're getting big. They're getting to the monopoly level. Along with America. America's getting to a weird oligarch level. You know, it's weird that this is the first election where all these rich billionaires are in the front row during the inauguration. It's weird that all the big companies are getting tax cuts, but you're not getting one. I don't know. I don't even know why you would need a tax cut. Why don't we just pay you more? What if we paid you 35% of what your current salary is more? Wouldn't that be nice? But they just don't do it. They want to make their profits. But regardless, as we know, US employment rate has risen, which we need to keep down. But since COVID, where we had the highest, COVID was like 14% that we had. But we need to keep unemployment down. That's a big deal, because if we don't have unemployment under control and it gets up higher and it's sustained for longer, we're going into full-blown recession, because it's a clear signal. Well, why aren't people working? Is it that they don't want to work? No, it's not that they don't want to work. No, stop it. It's that they're not getting hired. Okay, well, why aren't they getting hired? Is it that they're not qualified? Okay, maybe. So we may have a education issue in America, which we've had, or it's the companies that they just don't want to hire. They let 20,000 people go. What do you expect? They're going to rehire it? No. Once they're gone, they're gone. They're replacing them with AI. They're replacing them with a computer. They're replacing them with a stack that has graphic cards and processing power and compute power. Right? That's the ideal goal for these companies. Companies want to make money. They want to profit. They don't want employees if they don't need them. They rather have these AI agents, right, which is where we're going to, is AGI. Everyone thinks just this stuff, this is the tip of the iceberg. They're on their way to AGI, to superpower levels of compute, where now we have robots that are our friends, that are in the house, that are helping us with tasks every day, and you have an agent, right, that will do calling and do all. It's just you have a human brain in a little box that can talk to you, type thing. So that's where we're going. Okay, that's where we're going. But how does that relate to unemployment? Well, unemployment is a symptom of us digitizing, of us stepping into the AI world, as we did with the tech world in the 90s into 2000. A lot of people got fired, and then over time they got retrained, and we came back with some employment. Will that happen again? I really do believe so. I think a lot of our employment is going to come from the energy sector and the intra-highway system. I think those two are going to be really big, because EVs need power, and all of these electronics and stuff like that, which we're getting more and more every day, needs power. So we need to redo the whole grid, and we need nuclear power. And number two, for EVs and for self-driving cars, whether it's a full EV or a partial EV, still going to have self-driving technology. We need to redo all the roads across the whole U.S. And well, what's the benefit? Well, if you get an EV vehicle, no DUIs. If you get an EV vehicle, self-driving, you're going to get a tax credit. If you get an EV vehicle, you can then be on your phone more, and right, so they, when the time's right, they will advocate for whatever the heck they want to make money, right? So we'll get a lot of our jobs back from that, from the energy field, doing the whole roads. And we're also bringing manufacturing of tech here to America, and they're trying to bring back cars as well. So I think that's going to be a good push for us, and it's going to be similar to like early 2000s after 9/11, kind of a rebuild, because our stock market crash during 9/11 took a big hit. And then just a big buildup. I feel like there's going to be a big buildup of everyone working. You know, the American dream type thing. We'll probably be in another 20-year war with another country that has nothing to do with us. And we'll keep chugging along, you know. So unemployment's important. Please, if you're watching this right now on your butt, no job, go get a job, please, because you're supposed to watch this and invest that money from your job, whether it's the W-2, 1099, whatever it is, invest that money back into 4 different pillars, right? You're either investing it back into real estate, business, stocks, or crypto, right? Let me get this finger up. And sometimes I like to add a 5th one, yourself, right? Soft skills, education, stuff like that. But you got to reinvest your money. So if you're sitting on the couch right now, you got nothing to do. See, this may sound like a DeVry commercial. If some of y'all have seen the DeVry commercial with the guy, I think he had a white hat to the side a little bit, a little muzzle. Be like, look, you're sitting on the couch right now. You're not doing anything. Sign up. Go to school. Go to college. Whatever it is. I want you to go get a job, get that money, and we want to save that money, and we also want to invest that money and see it grow. All right? So you need money. Don't just be sitting here thinking that you're going to get rich watching this show every week with no money. We need money to keep flipping over and over, even if that's $1, $10, $100. All right, I prefer 100, not the dollar, please. Anyways, oh man, what else we got going on? What else we going on? We got NATO possibly sending troops to Eastern Europe. That's a big deal. You know, we've seen what's been going on right now with the mineral deal in Ukraine, where America's trying to strip Ukraine of all their minerals, pretty much, or else we're going to let Putin do what he wants to them, which is kind of messed up. And then we have the EU, right? We have Europe. They're all scrambling because America's like, hey, we're not really going to help you guys out. You know, y'all got to figure it out yourselves. But we got a lot of people, man. Our army, our military is up there. Now, China's, boy, I don't know. That's something else. That's something else. And I haven't mentioned this company yet. But Microsoft. Microsoft acquires AI startup, and they're just dumping more and more and more and more and more money into AI, right? Into nuclear to power their AI. So companies like Microsoft, like Amazon, like Google, like Tesla, like Nvidia, right? These are all very important companies and a part of the Magnificent Seven, which were one of the 7 companies that pretty much held the entire stock market up after COVID. And people were just like, I had no idea. The stock market's doing so great. Yeah, the stock market is doing amazing because everyone's injecting money into the Magnificent Seven. And Nvidia was just killing it. So yeah, it can carry the whole market in a way overall. But it wasn't a good time for us. And it was tons of injection into AI of just tons and tons and tons. And I don't know if there's necessarily a bubble, but you have a lot of upfront expenditure because we have to install all these hardware stacks, right? We have to build all these data centers. We have to get all this stuff set up. And then NVIDIA just keeps releasing new lines. There are Blackwell, Grace Hopper, all these lines, and then they got to upgrade. So it very much feels like we're in the 90s and we're stocking up all the hardware, you know, all the facilities. And then once we get all the data centers and the hardware kind of in, Dell's going to make their way in. Dell was awarded some money. And I believe Intel was awarded some money too to bring chip making back to America. So I see a really good resurgence of tech into the corporate world and AI as well. But my question is, you know, what about these commercial spaces? What about these commercial offices that are abandoned and that have been up for a while, right? That are due, that their loans are maturing. That's something to consider as well. Commercial real estate and how it connects to this whole web, because we have a huge injection of everyone throwing a bunch of money into AI. AI is the craze. AI is the craze. Okay, but what about commercial real estate? What about all of that? What about residential real estate with defaults? So now we got defaults on residential real estate. We got defaults on commercial real estate. I feel like last thing we're waiting for is banking, baby. We're waiting for the banking system to fall. I feel like that's one of the last things of some type of hysterical moment where everyone's doing runs on the banks, everyone's pulling their money out. Right? It reminds me of real 1929, real Great Depression type area. But we never know. We never know whether it's a bull market or a bear market. We're still gonna make money in these markets because that's how the market works. Whether it's going up or down, if you have a hunch, if you'd like to use that data and information and analysis, you can make money while the market's going down or up. So do not forget it. Do not forget it. But let's dive into this week's real estate and financial market update. Whether you're buying, selling, or just keeping an eye on the economy, here's what you need to know. So let's go ahead and break it down. Let's talk about interest rates, right? We have the conventional 30-year fixed rate at 6.74. It's gone down just slightly from last week. I would say no nominal change here. A VA 30-year fixed, this is the VA loan, 6.18, right? So y'all just heard that. Conventional 30-year, 6.74. VA 30-year, 6.18. Okay? All right. Now, what does that mean? You're just saying numbers, right? What does that mean? Okay, well, for buyers, lower rates mean increased affordability and buying power. For sellers, even slight drops in rates could increase buyer activity, which is great, especially as we head into the spring market, right? Spring is sprung, lower interest rates, more affordability, more purchasing power for the buyer. It's great for the buyer themselves, and it's great for the seller. Don't forget that, okay? Like I said before, May 7th is the next Federal Reserve meeting, and right now there's about a 14.5% chance of a rate cut of 25 basis points, okay? Very, very small rate. Now that's May 7th. The probability changes all the way up to the day of, right? So things could come out left and right. There's certain things that happen that could give us signals of maybe we're going to get a cut or not. But right now the probability is 0.4%. Now, for buyers, the odds of a rate cut are low, right? But it's still possible. And for sellers, with rates mostly holding, competition will likely remain moderate, okay? And that's why for sellers, pricing is key. Always, 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 pricing is key. In super hot markets, pricing is less important because people are paying over, it's just wild. But pricing is key, I always say. All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. We got some Denver metrics here. We got 54 days on market here in the Denver area, and that favors buyers. More time to negotiate. We have a close price versus list price ratio, so that's 98.6% right now. So that means the buyer is walking away with a discount of about 1.4% off of that 98.6%, okay? We like that number there because it just tells you, are people getting what they're listing at or not? Are they getting over or under of what they actually listed at, okay? Now, I really want to know, do y'all think we're going into a buyer's market? Do y'all think we're going into a seller's market? Or are we even? Are we kind of at a standstill, right? Sellers, some owners, we'll call them sellers, some owners, they have low interest rates, so they got a lock-in effect. They don't want to sell, because if they sell this, then they have to buy another place at 6%. That just doesn't make sense when they have this one at 3.25%. But some of them have to sell. Regardless of that, do we think we're in a buyer's market or a seller's market or transitioning from one or the other? It's super interesting. And I'll give you this tip too before you answer the comments below of if we're in a seller or a buyer's market. I want you to consider this. Do not consider the national picture, okay? I want you to consider your local area. Choose a zip code, choose a county, whatever it is, but if you do some research on this, look at your local area because real estate is hyper local. So to say that the entire nation is in a specific market type when it comes to real estate is not always the case, whether it's buyers or sellers favored, right? Your local area could be very, very great for buyers, or another local area could be very, very great for sellers, right? So something to note and something to really do research on your local area, because you're most likely going to want to invest in your local area. So why not know? Why not pull up the numbers? Look up what is the close to list ratio, right? Close to list price ratio in your area, right? Look up that, and that'll tell you, well, who's getting the discount here? Are the sellers getting more or are the buyers getting more? That just gives you one little data point. But I want to know, is your local area a buyer's market or a seller's market? It's important to know, right? Oh man, well look, it's about that time. You already know. Please drop a comment with your thoughts on these topics and questions, and let me know the topics that you want covered next. When you're ready to start, not if, it ain't if, it's when you're ready to start your real estate journey, visit my website, themilitaryrealtor.us. Yes, .us, not .com. Themilitaryrealtor.us to schedule a free call, right? There's free mortgage calculators on there. There's free search tools if you're looking for a property here in the Denver area, whatever it is. There's an about me. You can see a little bit about my story as well. But check out the website, themilitaryrealtor.us, and you can schedule your free, no obligation discovery call with me to talk about your real estate journey. If you're in the military, you're transitioning out of the military, you're thinking about getting into stocks, real estate, whatever it is, right? Don't forget, I'm always here for you. So take care, God bless, and remember, ownership is freedom. Take care, y'all.